It's all giving Cinderella, Cindodo, and no, we are not up for that in 2026. Y'all need to do better. There is someone that escaped from hell that is performing an alchemy of souls in the forest without anybody noticing in the village. Those villagers, they are not their brother's keeper. One bit. Hi guys, it's didnt. So I'm going to be doing a quick movie review, and basically I just want to know your thoughts about this movie because I've anticipated the release of this movie and it kind of hurts how I feel about this movie, and I want to know if you feel the same. My name is Judith and I go on the web as didnt. I talk about all things hair care, food, lifestyle, and today I'm going to be doing a movie review. Let's get into it. Bridgerton. I'm not sure why you thought it's best to give us a Cinderella story. I'm not sure why anyone thinks it's a good idea to give us a Cinderella story in 2026, because what is all of that masquerade ball, hiding your face, getting to search for the person holding her glove? It's all giving Cinderella, Cindodo, and no, we are not up for that in 2026. Y'all need to do better. Honestly, I couldn't even enjoy the movie because how is it that everyone knows the propagator of the gossip? Everyone knows that this is the person that is going to tell their story. Yet, they are cool with it and nobody is bothered about defamation. Like, it's just like it's one village that love gist so much that even if they see the person, like some people say, if I catch that person that is speaking bad about me, sure I'm shaky. But you see this Bridgerton, oh, they love themselves so much in that community, in that tiny village, that they prefer gist. They prefer gist. Like everybody wants to read about the next person, even if they see the propagator of that gist. It's just like in Nigeria, for example, at the time when Linda Ikeji blog was kind of popular and she was, blogging about any and everything, there were so many people that would be like, if I catch this woman. But you can imagine everybody knowing that Penelope is Lady Whistledown and they're just watching her walk by. Personally, I feel like that part of the movie is not well, the thought in Penelope being discovered as Lady Whistledown, I don't think it's well thought out. I feel like they should have kept it secret that Penelope is Lady Whistledown, and that would add to, that would actually make the movie more interesting. It should make the movie more interesting. Yeah. So now I'm going to talk about Aníkúlápó. Now, as an Igbo girl, I love watching traditional movies, and it doesn't matter to me whether that tradition is my own Igbo tradition or Yoruba or Hausa. I remember watching the Queen Amina movie and I felt so intrigued. I felt, I really loved watching the movie. It was very interesting to me. And, getting to see the culture of the Hausa people, it was something that I really, really appreciated when I watched that Queen Amina movie. And yeah, so that's basically the kind of movies I love to watch. I love to watch cultural movies. I love to watch, thrilling cultural movies. I'm not watching them because I want to learn about, or I want to, take notes and say, oh, I'm learning a lesson, concerning something. No, I'm not watching it for the educational purpose, but I really get entertained when I see cultural movies. So that was why I picked interest in Aníkúlápó, and then having my Yoruba family with us. We basically love to watch Yoruba cultural movies. So Aníkúlápó was one movie that I was truly intrigued by. It was interesting. Kunle Remi killed his role in the first season, or the very first movie, because it was a single movie before it became seasonal and started having episodes. And I feel like they did a good job with the season, the first season, the first movie, the first season. I think this is season 2, and I kind of feel like there's something wrong with the script writing of this season 2. When I'm watching the movie, I'm feeling the thrills. I'm kind of feeling the effects. The person on the effects and sounds and the color grading, they did an excellent job. The actors did an excellent job as always. All of the actors, they played their parts beautifully well. But the script writer, I felt like some things were not linking well. I felt like there were some things that they were overlooking, that I feel in 2026 we shouldn't be overlooking such things. And then again, I would like to add that if you want to enjoy this movie, you have to go back and watch the previous seasons, because you would have forgotten most of who is who in this movie, because I'm like, what's happening? What did the king do? And I'm like, it's been so long since the previous season was released. I feel they should actually release these movies like a back-to-back. Or better still, we'll go back and watch the previous seasons. But going back to watch the previous seasons and then coming to watch this one, and it's going to... And then this one is not giving what it's supposed to give. It seems like you've just wasted your time, basically. And for the fact that he had to troll Funke based on her dancing to promote her movie, and then give us this one, I'm just going to say that I would watch behind the scenes again 10 times over instead of watching this movie again. As a matter of fact, I couldn't watch this movie to the end. I could not, because there was absolutely no reason to have slave masters in this movie. Yeah, I understand it's pre-colonial times, and they are acting about way back when those people must have been coming to Nigeria, but immediately I saw slave masters, I'm like, no way. Somehow they always mess up the slave masters part in Nigerian movies. It's always cringy to watch. I don't know. It wasn't a good idea to include slave masters. Just leave them wherever they are, leave them out of it. Tell us what's happening with us without their interference, or better still, while they were interfering, what was happening with us, basically. So there's this part where the prince came back from wherever he was. He's an hunter, so he came back, and then he asked about his sister, and they told him about what happened with the sister and the person she got married to, the prince. And then he says, oh, I'm going to go rescue her and all of that. Tells his mom, and everybody's like, oh, don't worry about her, oh, she's fine, no, don't put her no. But he says, no, I'm going to go. And then he heads straight to that particular village, that palace, sees the sister, and then he decides, let's go, jump on my horse, let's start going. Just like that, no plan. Is that how you're actually going to save someone? Just like that. And apparently the other village, the king and the queen, they've had a discussion about, oh, this girl is being held captive, let's let her go and all of that. And then the king is like, we are still deliberating on it. It has to be something that all of the elders, we have to deliberate on it. I can't just let her go. And then this occurrence where the prince comes and asks his sisters and orders his sister to climb the horse and let's get out of here. And then the king comes out and he's watching, everyone is watching, and then he says, go. Okay, fine. Now they've gone back to her father's village, their palace. Why are they hiding her? The king willingly lets you go with your sister. You return to the palace and you decide to hide her. That part of the story was crazy. I'm like, why is she being hidden? And then, to make matters worse, the person being hidden is found by the king himself. And the king says, I'm a man of my word, and you have to go back to the other village. And then she's sent back. Now, do we not deserve to know the reaction of the other village, owing to the fact that they have allowed her to go already? They are not angry, they are not pained. They allowed her to go in the first place. Now, seeing her returned back to them, what was their reaction? Nobody's saying anything. Nobody thought it right to let us know what the reaction of the other village would be. The next thing, she's trying to escape with one of her servants, the Ghanaian servant. She's trying to escape. The servant did not know, and she just joined them, and they showed us a long track of footsteps. I was even telling my husband that these people may have passed my area. They may have walked past my area because that long track, it was quite long. So that was a long journey. They were trying to run away from that village, going probably back to their Ghanaian village or to settle somewhere else. And then the princess was among them. She did not know. She found out now that the princess is among them, only for her to say, oh, we're going to send you back to the village. The princess says no. And then she, the Ghanaian girl, Asante, no, the Ghanaian girl, she's not Asante. Asante is the antelope. Okay, now, she, the Ghanaian girl, decides to start running. You know, just running as if you're running from your house to probably the next house. She just does a quick run from where she is to the other village. After crossing 7 seas, after going that far, the distance between where they are and the next village, is this something that she would decide to just run back to inform the king that the princess is there? I don't know, but everything was just like, what is happening? What is happening? What is happening? And then to top it, there is someone that escaped from hell that is performing an alchemy of souls in the forest without anybody noticing in the village. Those villagers, they are not their brother's keeper one bit. Because how is it that nobody discovered that somebody was missing in that village? Because while all of this was going on, that particular guy that escaped from hell must have consumed about 4 to 5 souls. He has performed an alchemy of souls about 4 to 5 times, and nobody in the village knew until he tried to do it on the prince. And then the prince and the antelope's love story is a very funny one. I would not even want to. Why include that fake old Nollywood love story as part of that movie? Love at first sight and all of that. My God. So I kind of feel there's a lot that needs to go into script writing, and I feel the main script ought to take more time to vet before the actors start acting. And then after watching this movie, if they see that there are some things that needs to be erased from the movie, just remove it. They should just remove it, because I feel like it kind of plays on our intelligence for us to be watching movies like this in 2026, because we are supposed to be way past that. We're supposed to be way past that old Nollywood love stories. We're supposed to be way past Cinderella stories like Bridgerton was trying to give. All the same, I feel like if you've not seen these movies, you should actually watch them and let me know your thoughts. You might have a different opinion. You might have a different view on these movies. You might have a different take. But for the Aníkúlápó movie, I feel this is not the kind of movie that I would want to watch again. It's actually not the movie that is worth calling out anybody for. It's no match for behind the scenes. I mean, not looking at it from the previous seasons and the main Aníkúlápó movie that didn't even need a second season. The main movie was perfect as it is. If we were to compare the main movie with behind the scenes, the main movie is up there, behind the scenes is somewhere down. You can't compare the two of them at all. But if you were to forget about all of those previous seasons and watch this movie and just watch it to, just watch it for what it is, it comes nowhere close to behind the scenes. And this is the type of movie that you probably need to dance a lot to get people to go and actually give you a good review. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have you seen any of these movies? Were you anticipating the movies like I was, and did it meet your expectations, or was it below par? Do you think what are the things that you think they need to improve on, and what were you expecting to see as well in the movie? Thanks for watching, guys. See you in my next video.